So I got scammed. Luckily, I have learned from other scam baiters that you just need to take action right away. So I'm going to tell you my story today on what happened. I got a couple big announcements, and then I'm going to answer some questions that I have been asked by subscribers. Hi, I'm Cora. Welcome to my channel, Cora's Inner Corner, and today I've got a little story to tell you with a couple announcements. There's 3 of them, and I'm here to answer a couple of questions. First of all, I want to talk to you about today's sponsor, which is sponsored by me. For the past year and a half, I had written a book in the spring of 2023. I ended up pregnant afterwards, got really sick. I couldn't work on too much. And so I'm finally happy to announce I have had other books released, these 3, and I am happy to announce the 4th one is finally done. This is the proof copy. So if you are, or if you know someone who's into cheesy, spicy romances, this book would be for them. It's called The Complicated Stormy Night. I plan on doing a live on Saturday night to celebrate, so just watch out for that. Now on to today's story. So this is what happened. So I have been saving up money this past year for my children for their birthdays and for Christmas. I have a routine going of how much I put back and all that, so that way at the end of the year when everybody's broke, I at least have enough for all 3 of my children. And some of you might or might not know, I have 2 birthdays now right around Christmas. So it's important to me that I put this money aside. So what happened is when I have cash and I'm ordering stuff off of Amazon, I just like to go straight to the store. I go purchase an Amazon gift card, come back, open it up, put it right on my account, order, done. It's just transferring cash over, so I don't have to use my credit card and be charged a fee and all that. And it just makes it easier for me. So I went down to the store, CVS, that was not far from here. So I get there, I do my usual routine. I pick up 1 gift card. So I talk with the cashier. At first we're struggling, like, I guess CVS is only allowed to sell a certain amount of gift cards a day, which that scares me now to think about. But they were able to override it and get it on there, get the money I needed on there. And so I go home. I get home, I open the card, I open up Amazon, I start to put the card in. There's not enough digits. I try again. There's not enough digits. Me and my husband are looking around and think maybe I accidentally ripped off the number, but I realize there should have been something to peel or scratch off, and it had been peeled off. So this is when I realized somebody has the number and they scratched off the last couple digits. So I go to the store. The cashiers are really busy, so I feel so bad. And so I go back to the register and she says there's nothing we can do, it's out of our hands now, and since you bought it, you do need to contact the number on the card. So I was like, okay. So I go home, I look for a number on the card, there's nothing. I'm like, great. So I go on Amazon. So what I had to do was go under my account and then go to customer service and then help with something else. And then in there somewhere, you have payments, charges, or gift cards. And then it says pick what you need help with. I had to put problem with the gift card. Claim code unreadable is what I had to pick. Yeah, it says you'll need to provide 3 consecutive characters from anywhere in the claim code other than the first 2 or the last 4. And then you hit I need more help. And then you request a call. And then they call you. And I was able to talk with the nice woman. She was very helpful. I told her this was a time-sensitive matter on the fact that somebody could take the money off that card with all the digits. So she was able to bring it up and she was able to put the money on my account. And that night, I think there's so much, and my kids ended up getting birthday and Christmas presents that night from that card. So some of you may ask, how exactly does this work if you haven't figured out yet? So what I did was the next day, I went to go into the store and I asked for the manager. I told the cashier, I told her no matter what was going on. And then the manager comes and the first thing I'm like, by the way, your employees did what they could. This is nothing about them. just probably because managers are used to hearing people complain about employees. So I had told her what had happened, and she's like, really? So she goes over to the shelf, and she had explained to me what happens. What happens is these people, they take these cards off the shelf, and they do it just to more than Amazon, but Amazon is the experience I had. She had even said some companies work easier with you than others when you have a problem with a gift card like that. So what they do is they take these off the shelf, they take them home, they open them up, they write the numbers down, they scratch off the last couple digits, so whoever gets the card, they can't read it off and cash in that card. So then those numbers are written down, you can't access without having calling Amazon or whoever. And what they do is they glue them back up and make sure whatever glue they use a hair dryer to finish it off, to make it seal back up. After they seal them back up, they take them back to the store and they shove them back on the shelves, and it'd be like nobody ever knew. So I asked her if I could bring these home to show you guys, show anybody I know what's the difference, so you guys can look out for it when you buy gift cards this year if you are, or any year. She's like, yeah, sure, because I told her, I'm like, if you're not allowed to, it's fine. She's like, go ahead. So these are the cards that I have. Now, I don't know if you could see the difference. I definitely can see the difference. A couple of these cards, so there's 5 cards. If you can't tell the difference, then let me tell you. Okay, this is black on the side and not so thick. That one is new, not open. This one is white on the side. And so is this one. These have been opened. And let me show you the card that I got. By the way, make sure they're all facing the same way. I did that, so. But let me show you the card I got. So this is what they did. It looked exactly like this. When I opened it, you notice the last 2 digits are gone. The whole strip was not there. But you do need to be aware because it's white on this side, so they might actually still try to open them up from this side. So that's why you just look for the thickness, like just seeing that you can tell which ones are thicker and which ones not. So that is the story of how I got scammed, and it almost ruined my children's Christmas. So my first announcement is we have welcomed a new baby into the family. This is Junior. Hi. Oh, he's a sweet boy. He is. He's a sweet boy. Some of you have seen I did lose my father-in-law last month, and this was one of his dogs, and now he lives with us, and he's such a sweet little troublemaker. Yeah, so now I have 2 dogs. So I got 2 more announcements. I'm going to move on to the questions, but I'm going to make one more announcement before I do the questions, and then I'm going to do the last announcement. So the next announcement is some of my characters don't wear glasses, and now they are going to be, because I got prescribed glasses, though I only need to wear them when needed while working on my computer, and reading is one of them. So these are going to show up more. My eyesight is still pretty good, but I do need to wear them where I'm using my computer or when I am reading. But on to the questions. I've been asked, how did you get started with scam baiting? So what happened was 2014 into the end of 2015. What was going on is I was being let go of my job because they were closing for good, so I was being laid off. And so I was online searching for jobs, and one of them was care.com. I filled out some information on there because I did like helping and being able to take care of children, because I knew I wanted children of my own someday. And so what happened was I got this person messaging me saying, oh yeah, we're moving into town and I need somebody to watch my child. But what it was they were offering to pay ahead of time, but they wanted you to send money back. And so it was a check fraud scam. So what they would do is they pay you, you send some of the money back, and so what happens is the bank comes back later and says, this was a fake check, you owe us money. So you just gave some of that money to the scammer. But my husband had caught it. I was devastated. So what I did was I used a different email to email them back saying I was from a completely different city, different town, different state. And of course they answered back the same, so I knew it was. So then we get to the end of 2015 going into 2016. I get into 2016. I have discovered scam baiters like Kit Boga and Trilogy Media, and I loved watching their stuff. And I was like, I do like messing with scammers. So, I started answering more calls that were scammers and messing with them and wasting their time, and I really had fun with it. So time had gone by, and I still enjoyed answering the phone and messing with scammers, but 2019 came around and I ended up pregnant with twins. Now some of you may have heard me tell this story before, so I'll just keep it brief. So my middle child is a twin. So what happened was he was born in October, but he was due in January. And it was about a week and a half before I gave birth that we found out his twin brother was gone. I was devastated. I'm still devastated by it. Once you lose a child, no matter what situation, no matter how old they are, it's pain that you're not supposed to be feeling that you feel. And it's horrible. So I gave birth in October, a couple months early. He gets sent off to the NICU. I'm here having to say goodbye to my other twin. I was completely devastated. I ended up with PTSD from the whole situation. So I ended up having to get help, and they suggested, why don't you try to do something for yourself? And so I've always messed around with my voice, and my one friend who has passed away, I had created the character Tony way back when I lost my friend, and I'm like, how do you think Tony would do with these scammers? And she's like, do it. So I filmed it, I sent it to her. She thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious, so I started posting them on here and using my voice since. And that's how I got started. The next one is, how did you come up with your name? So Cora, it originally was not Cora Zetter Corner. It was originally seen as Zetta's Corner, and the reason why was because we were back in high school, and my friend was like, she loved John Cena, and I thought, I liked him too. And then like he was always a joke that when he was on the corner, at the corner, especially tag team stuff, I would laugh at him. I was like, he's on the corner, he's selling himself. And she's like, oh my god. So that's where that started. So it started as a joke to her, and so Cora, that actually came later. So I have swimmed most of my life, and when I got my first mermaid tail, I thought it was really fun. It's a little bit more difficult. It's good to be a strong swimmer to swim in one of those tails. So I did want to be there, to maybe make a little cash and bring smile upon kids' faces. So I needed a mermaid name. And so at the time, I was watching Once Upon a Time, and Regina, who plays the evil queen, her mother's name was Cora. And so I was finding and looking all these possible mermaid names, and Cora's one that came up. So I did a poll on Facebook with my friends, and Cora won. And I was okay with that, because Cora was after Regina's mother in Once Upon a Time. So how that all came together was, my husband, I think it was, says, if you want to expand your channel, you're gonna have to change the name of your channel from Seen at His Corner to something else, because Vince McMahon might try to shut you down if you don't do it. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So I just took Cena out and I put my mermaid name in, and now it just means I'm at my corner to beat some scammer butt. I mean, I guess you can always go back to the other one, which is still funny. Next question, how did you start voice acting? So when I was a kid, I would always play with my voice, and I think the reason was there was a couple people that were involved. There was Robin Williams, who I more known him as the genie in Aladdin. And then there was E.G. Daily, who plays multiple characters, but I more known her as Tommy Pickles from the Rugrats. So I always thought it was interesting that they could play with their voices. So I was like, I wonder if I could. And so I started playing around with my voices, trying different accents as a kid, and I was having a lot of fun with it. So here I am, I'm a kid, and I'm trying these different accents and these different voices. I tried to do a British accent and try to copy off the Spice Girls voices, but that's where it started. And then we got into middle school, and at this time I was enjoying Britney Spears. I could try to do her voice. All the kids were like, yeah, you sound like her, I'm like, well, I can do it then. And then I just messed with my voice, and high school hit, and this is where I really started messing around with my voice, because I had lost my friend to a brain tumor. So what I would do with my friends is we would just mess around to try to, forget the reality that we were in, and that's when Tony was born, because we were already writing this silly book that had to do with these musicians and stuff, and that's where Tony was born. Then I got asked, are you single? No, I've been married for 12 years. And then the last one, I don't know why it didn't show up for me. I had to log it into a different account to see this, but I know exactly this user's humor. They said, if you want a refund, just send me your bank details and PIN number. Okay, I want my refund. My bank number is... So one last announcement. I have been working really hard on a lot of things, and one of them, I'm really excited to announce that there's going to be a podcast coming soon with my dear friend Kibby Rose from her channel Kibby Rose. She is a crime enthusiast like I am. She's also a psychic and also a writer like I am. So the podcast we're going to be working on, it's tea. It's law and crime tea. So there's going to be subjects just discussed of what's been going on, past cases, past crimes as well. Like, I'm going to put my input on the whole Chris Benoit thing. But thank you for watching. And if you like this video anytime, please like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell to know when I go live. I usually post videos on Thursdays. If you like what you saw, check out this. Until next time, anybody who's out there that's in the United States, happy Thanksgiving. Until next time, bye.